All right, everybody, welcome to Virtual Bourbon. My name is Steve Akley. I'm joined by Adam Stumpf, and we're here just to announce the winners of our blending contest. And it's kind of a big deal, right, Adam?
It is. It's a huge deal.
We had the best time doing this, by the way. So, the first time you're doing anything, I think there's a couple things we would tweak, but for the most part, I think we did pretty good on a first attempt at a contest. And we're going to do it. It's going to be a yearly thing. Royce Neely was one of those things that had just by happenstance he signs up for the thing, and I like the idea of a beat the pro component to it. So we're gonna keep that in the mix. Amateurs versus a professional, and
like the Moonshiners show all over again.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Right.
There's no real agenda here today other than to share, the winners and kind of talk a little bit about the process and answer any questions you have and celebrate, a great job by everybody who participated. So, I will tell you that we had 22 people signed up for this, and 15 turned in a whiskey. So. That makes it easy for you, and that 7 didn't even turn in. I don't know why. I would have definitely done that. I was terrified that a whiskey was going to show up with a beat up box or something like that. Looks like it was stuck at the post office for a couple of days, but shows up like 3 days later. But nothing like this happened. So everything was in on time. Everyone who all those 15 were in on time. So thank you for that. And did not get any after the fact, which is good. So Adam and I want to keep friends with everybody too. So that was a stressful part of this for sure, is we wanted everybody to get their stuff in, and everybody did get it in kind of at the last minute. No one, you had a month and no one got it. Like week 1, we didn't receive any. So it was all kind of the last week that we got these. So how it worked is, went over to Adam's place and after hours. So it was myself, Adam, and the warden. And the warden's job was to mix up the samples and provide them to us blind. We knew nothing about it. We didn't know, mash bill or anything. We're just evaluating on taste. At one point, Adam's cousin came in and said, "How are you guys judging this?" We're just like, on taste, what tastes the best. And how we did it was, each time we did one of these, we ranked them. So the first round, there was 2 parts to the first round. There was there's 15, so there's 8 in one of the flights, and then 7 in the other. And the goal was to eliminate either 4 or 3, depending on how many were there to start out with, to get down to 4. So those 2 4s then come down into there, and then we're back to 8. And then what we did is we tasted those 8 and narrowed it down to 4 again, cut it in half. And then the final round, we got 4. The final 4, then we ranked, first place through 4th place. So that's just an overview of how we did it. Adam, anything you want to add to that? I mean, that was...
Only thing I want to add is, thank God only 15 samples showed up, because if 22 would have shown up, oh my goodness.
Adam was lit by the end, by the way. He was gone.
It was
yeah.
It was interesting.
There would have been a slipper issue again.
Yeah. So as we get to this, and you'll see why that would play into this in a little bit here, but it was really cool. And to sit down there, we don't know anything. We're just getting samples. And again, what we're doing is, okay, like in the first flight of round 1, we've got 8. We rank them 1 to 8, and we use this scoring system pretty much in everything that we do. So our job, Adam and I, independently, we're not working with each other. We taste them independently. We rank them from 1 being our favorite in that flight to number 8 being our least favorite of the flight. And we go through and do that. And then we use a reverse scoring system. So if the one that you give number 1 gets 8 points, the one that you give number 2 gets 7 points. So it's the reverse of the number. And then the highest score combined between the 2 are the ones that move on. And luckily, first couple rounds, no ties or anything like that. So it's all very clean. Everyone moved on. And it was funny because, we weren't all exactly on the same page, were we, Adam?
No, not at all. I mean, in fact, I think like some of my best scoring in a flight were your worst, and vice versa.
Yeah.
But I will say the interesting thing is like, for me, especially on one of them, there was one in particular, and it was the very first sample I tried. I was like, this is not going to be the winner. And then you come along and you judge that against other things, and you have a completely different perception. So I would say the whole kind of bracket was the right mechanism to really kind of drill down.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, so we did that very clean round one, which was again 2 flights in round one. Round two also worked out very clean, no issues or anything like that, to going from 8 down to 4. Then when we get to the final round, 1 through 4, we literally ranked them in reverse, which meant there was a 4-way tie. Everyone had the exact score after round when we go into the finale. So that's going to give you guys an idea how close it was. So our 4 finalists, we felt like, you know what, that's a positive sign that we picked the right 4 to get there. So then what we did is we then worked together. We got to break the tie. So we literally drink the first one. We drink the second one. I like the second one better than the first one. Okay, so we know, and we both agree on that. So then we know that second one's going to be better. We get to the third one, we have a disagreement. What's better? And then we get to the fourth one, and then there's a little bit of a disagreement. But we both agreed that the second 2, number 3 and number 4, if you will, that we were drinking, were better than the first 2. So again, since we knew that with number 2 beat number 1, that became 4th place. Then 3rd place was set, and then it was down to make the case. So we took 1st and 2nd place, and we went back and forth, and we're tasting it. Why do you like this? Why don't you like that? And then it came down to the smallest component. There was one little tasting note in there that we felt that made the one that won a little bit better, but it was reverse of what we wanted. So Adam was fighting for the one that ultimately won. I was fighting for the other one, but we then came to an agreement on that. So that gives you guys exactly how that went. Now, Adam, anything else you want to add about anything we did in scoring?
No, I mean, I think you covered
It
all
was
the
a
big
great
stuff.
time.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
decipher my chicken scratch here.
Oh, yes.
That's all
Because we kept going over why did we after each round we'd go through and see what we liked, what we didn't, who carried some people. Sometimes it's a matter of carrying a person. So if I liked the one best and Adam liked it 4th best, that might be enough points for it to move on. I'd be like, I carried that one to the next round, man. But it'd be or the reverse of that. So there was one notable one, that reversed that. Adam carried one. So these things happen. So with that, we'd now like to announce everyone's what they did here. So honorable mention is the first awards that we're going to give. Honorable mention, we thank you for being part of this. It unfortunately means that you did not move past the first round. So again, we had 2 flights. We did 8 down to 4, and then 7 down to 4. So these are the individuals that were eliminated. We do thank you for participating, getting everything by the rules and on time. And but these individuals will not be the winner. So this is an example where you do not want your name announced here. So honorable mention for the 2020 Blended Whiskey Challenge. Kevin Rose, thank you for being part of it. We appreciate it. Rob Nocera, thank you for being involved. Tim Swyatt, thank you for being part of this. Jason Hunt, thank you. Jason Sauter. It was rough on the Jasons there for a little while, sorry. Carrie Pierce, thank you for being part of this. And again, we appreciated everybody's whiskey. The last person eliminated in the honorable mention category, Royce Neely. Thank you for being part of the 2020 challenge. The semifinalist. These are people that moved. They won the first round, advanced, I should say. They didn't win. They advanced to the next round, but they ultimately were eliminated in that round. So again, at this point, now we're sitting at 8. We're going to cut 4 here, and then we're going to eliminate it down to the final 4. So our semifinalists, again, thank you for participating in this. Avery Patridge, great job. Brian Murphy, congrats on moving to round 2. But your hopes and dreams are over. Paul Russo, thank you for being involved, but your journey ends here. And finally, the last person, or should I say people, the Robinsons. The Robinsons. So, and I believe everyone is on here. We don't have anybody that just showed up that I'm like, oh, I sent mine in. So their final 4 looks like they're all on here. So our final 4 is as follows. No order here. I'm not giving any tips. I mix everything up. So Rick Brenner, John Kelly, Taylor Luther, and Justine Mays. So alphabetical. That's our final 4 here. And again, just as a reminder, we did rank these. I talked about the process of how this happened. And so these are our final four. So again, is this tense, Adam? It should be tense, right?
What's
Do you
that?
play the drums or anything?
Um,
You're adding nothing here. All right. In fourth place, nothing to sneeze at here. This is a hell of an accomplishment. You've a field of 15, including a professional in here, to come in fourth place. This is amazing. Congratulations to Taylor Luther on fourth place in the 2020 Blended Whiskey Challenge. I'll share what I've got the 4 bottles here. I'll share in a second what the whiskeys were for the final 4 here. In third place, congratulations to a bronze medalist in the 2020 Blended Whiskey Challenge. Goes to Mr. Rick Brenner. Rick Brenner, congratulations on being our third place finalist. That comes down to the final 2 now. Who wins the exciting prize? We've got the Whiskey Thief from Vendome Copper, an unbelievable prize. And in second place, congratulations for second place. Excellent work goes to Justine Mays, meaning our champion is Mr. John Kelly. John, way to go, man. You are our winner of the 2020 ABV Network Blended Whiskey Challenge. So that is how it went down. I can tell you that let me give you the breakdown. And again, we've got 3 different styles here because we didn't have it uniform. I mean, maybe this would be something that we'd look at, making sure everybody writes it uniform. But Taylor, she did 12.5% rye, 25% wheat, and 62.5% barley in her blend. She was in fourth place with that. Next up is Rick. He did his in centiliters. So his was 4.4 centiliters of corn, 1.065 centiliters of wheat, 0.0798 centiliters of barley.
Hey, what was the first one again?
Taylor's was 12.5%. So she went by percents. Percents rye, 12.5% rye, 25% wheat, and 62.5% barley. This is interesting here. Very few people used water in their blends, but our final 2 both did. So, I mean, this is something that sticks in your head if you're going to be doing this next year. I don't know. Maybe it's just how it worked out this year. Justine had 15 milliliters of corn whiskey, 30 milliliters of rye whiskey, 10 milliliters of barley whiskey, and 5 milliliters of water in her blend. And John, our champion, had 20 milliliters of corn, 10 milliliters of rye, 14 milliliters of the 4-grain bourbon, and 8 milliliters of water in his. So that's it. That's how it went down. Pretty interesting stuff.
That is.
Yeah. Cheers, John.
Yeah. Cheers, John. Absolutely. We'll pour for John. So
Thanks. Thank you.
yeah. So have you thought about doing this for a living now, John? What do you do? I don't know. We don't know you. So
You've got the first tool of the job.
yeah. Got the Whiskey Thief.
I'm in actually no, I'm in human resources at
Okay.
White Castle.
So at White Castle, okay, it's what you crave.
Yeah.
Do you feel like with the Whiskey Thief and the championship, you could start a distillery now, maybe? I mean,
We got a friend who is actually starting one, so I
Okay.
don't know.
yeah, you
I've
might be
thought-
bringing
I've
some
thought about
skills. You might
This
be
is
bringing
a-
some skills.
Thanks.
Pretty solid line for Master Taster for sure.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. William Tarr keeps saying they need a master blender. There you go. Now take this there. Where was Barry? He should have been on this.
Heck yeah.
So I don't know. I thought it was cool. Royce, I'll be honest. I screwed you over. I did you in. I ranked you dead last. In
Let the record show. Let the record show.
Stump gave you third, and I gave you dead last. That put you out, man. I'm sorry. I have no idea. I'm tasting blind, and yeah.
I think mine was like 60-30-10, wasn't it?
I don't know. I do have them all here in case that comes up. I can grab it real quick. I just have to shift
That
through
big of
them
a
all.
deal, but I
I
can't
only
remember.
grabbed the 4 here for the big winner. So
I done mine when I was drunk after the moonshine class we taught at the distillery
That's probably not a good idea, right? Yeah.
with Hunter Coffee in there.
Dude, I feel for you because you're a professional. Everyone's amateurs, and everybody's worried about you being in there. But again, it all comes down to the taste on one night, and you're using very small samples. This isn't a product you're taking to market. This is just something where you're using these small bottles to create a. This isn't reflective of anything that you do. So whether you win or lose. I think you had the same chance as anybody, to be honest with you. I don't feel like
I never tasted any of these
strategic
before.
advantage. Yeah.
Right.
I don't. So it's a weird thing where if I don't think you could win either way. I don't. You win, and everybody's like, oh, screw. Well, of course he wins, and if you lose, you don't. But I think it's a fun aspect of it. We really appreciate you being involved in it, man. I think it's very cool that you did it. So,
Steve, you want to hear something funny?
What's that?
I made 5 different blends, and then I figured out which one I liked the best, and that's the one I submitted. But I had all these mini samples, so I threw those in a in a bottle and shook it up, and I tried that, and it was better than any of them by themselves. But I had no idea what the hell the blend was.
You should
It's not great.
Get it to Weebrink. Weebrink will figure it out for you. He can run it through the computer stuff, and I'll tell you. But
Fast spec.
Yeah. But
I guess if I really sat down, I could have figured it out, but I didn't feel like doing that much math.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It was a cool experience. Adam and I really liked it. It was work, getting all the kits and all that, but it was rewarding too. I think it was just something different enough. And I know Adam and I had a great time when we were doing it.
Yeah, no,
tasting them.
It was fun. And Steve, we took quite a bit of time. We were there more than 2 hours, weren't we?
Oh yeah. We were there quite a bit of time. So
yeah, no, it was good.
Yeah. So
I finished every one of my samples. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, we were definitely especially in the final round where that tie, it was like, holy cow.
Yeah,
is that even possible? So
Steve, do you guys have tasting notes for what the top 4 tasted like?
No, but I've got partial samples I could give you, and you could try them.
What's interesting is the top 2 had lowered their ABV down.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what's cool. It's cool that both of those rose to the top.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, not anything Adam and I knew or anything like that. We're just tasting, and it was very, very interesting.
Was there anything that really surprised you as far as the makeup of different ones?
It's pretty interesting that the sample that won had the 4-grain bourbon mixed in there. So I don't know if that added to some of the complexity of it or not, but that was definitely interesting. Steve, do you know in the final round which sample was the winner or how that kind of went on our ABCD? Do you have those notes?
I think it's the actual order that they are in now. So I think Justine's was the third and John's was the last one that we tried. I liked Justine's a little bit better. You liked John's a little bit better. And that's where we were arguing back and forth. And it all came down, there was like one kind of, they're both very complex, but there was one kind of, I got a little, just a mini grassy note in there, and Adam was like, yeah, me too. And I was like, I guess that's the difference then.
So third and fourth place were malt whiskeys. Would have been a malt whiskey, right?
One of them was, I think.
Mine was.
Taylor's was.
Yeah.
Yeah, hers was high malt.
Hers was, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't use any of the corn.
The malt was the oldest barrel, I think, wasn't it?
I don't have that now with me. No, I don't.
I'm almost positive the malt was the oldest barrel. It was in a 30-gallon barrel, and I think it's been in there since like April of 17 or something like that. So it's got some pretty good age on it. I'm pretty sure I'm positive the only big barrel we used was that corn whiskey barrel. It's been in there for between 2 and 3 years. I think probably close to 2.5 at this point. So
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense that you used a bunch of malt. I mean, it's definitely had the most age on it for sure.
Also delicious. I got the honor of being on a tasting team for one of these great blenders.
Too funny.
He's on the tasting team. Okay. Yeah. Was there anybody else besides you on the tasting team?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Not much of a team, but yeah. Okay.
I assembled an entire organization in support of Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
It was me and Grayson just kind of watched.
So yeah, we're definitely going to do it again. You know, if Royce, do you have like individual whiskeys like blend for blending purposes or not? Could we have you and then flip it where Adam's in the contest and you provide the whiskey next time?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll see how Adam does.
Dead last.
I'll have to get another judge though. That's
Akley ranks me dead last.
I didn't know.
I didn't know. That's a good thing. Dead fucking last. Akley.
Well,
Jesus.
Stumpf's so into the numbers. It's tough dealing with him because he's so into what did you rank this one? Okay. Well, you did it. I mean, Stumpf is just, his mind is totally different than mine. I'm just whatever, moves on. I'm processed, get to the next one. He's about breaking everything down.
Wait till I tell Becca what you've done, Akley. She was on my tasting panel. It was me, a relatively drunk Miss Becca Sue, and an annihilated Hunter Coffee.
Oh yes, the Hunter Coffee was freaking.
Hunter Coffee was feeling absolutely no pain that day.
No. So and Adam, we're not going to talk about this one, but Adam, the one that he liked least, said this is going to be the worst one in the contest. It ended up moving on to the next round, and then he liked it the next round. He voted it higher. So Adam, talk about evolution of taste. Yeah,
I said that.
I mean, he got so much shit for that. I mean,
yeah. And Amy, Amy even was giving the shit. I mean, she was dishing it out pretty good.
Oh yeah, because you were so adamant that one's not going to win, and then the next round you're like, well, this was pretty good.
It was the first thing I tasted. That's what I'm going to attribute it to.
We got to hear a little bit about Rick's process, and I know a little bit about Taylor's, but what about Justine and John? What did you guys go through?
That's a good question.
I'll go. I basically did what we talked about on the class. I tasted each one, took some notes, waited a little bit. I think it was a day or two, tasted them again, see if I came up with the same stuff. Then I ended up with 3 different attempts. And ironically, and I was just kind of just started out. I decided I wanted to make a bourbon. So I concentrated on 3 different bourbons, tried different combinations, and ironically, for me, my first attempt was the one I liked the best.
Okay.
By mixing in some different stuff, because I did try and use the malt. I wanted to try and do something interesting and have the malted barley in a bourbon, but there was something about it I just didn't like. So,
How did you decide to add water?
I'm trying to remember when I did do that. It was early, and again, I also let it sit there. I put it in the glass and let it sit there for a day. Once I mixed everything together, I think it was kind of I wouldn't hesitate to call it by accident, but I mean, I was like, I just wondered what it would be like to add some water to it, and to my taste, it improved it a little bit. So. I then went and added water to the other ones as well, just to try and mix it around a little bit.
That makes sense. I mean, those were up there, weren't they? They were all pretty well high teens, and I think even in the low 20s.
I'm as much of a straight from the barrel type of person as anyone, but you've gone through the process of creating these blends, and then you're going to kind of rank them, and then I don't think it's a bad idea to add a little water after you've gone through that. And then if it's better, it's better. If it's not, you stick with, you've got the blend written down of what you had. So I think it's smart to always try to add the water and see what happens. I don't know that everybody did that, and especially based on the numbers that we saw, very few added water, but ultimately we see 2 that added water made it all the way to the end, the top 2. So it's worth, best practice of probably trying that when you come up with what you think the blend is.
I went
But-
through
but
too
Justine,
many. I went through too many different blends,
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of got towards the end and realizing, okay, I'm running out of liquid.
Right, right.
So then said, well, I don't really have the opportunity to waste anything with water. So,
Mhm.
but definitely learned a lot in the process.
Yeah, that's where we were too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had like just barely the bottom of the bottle left of the corn, and some of the others were getting really low too. It's like we can't do anything else. We got to decide.
Yeah.
It's go time. Yep.
So Justine, the question was out there. Tell us a little bit about your process and how you got to where you were at.
I'd like to say that there was a lot of method to my madness, but there kind of really wasn't. I did start off with, I didn't even look at the bottles, like what they were. I had them facing away from me, and then I just went through and nosed them all and then like ranked them that way. And then I went through and tasted them all and like ranked them that way and just decided like what I wanted my base to be.
Yeah.
And I think I only made like 3 different blends. And then I ended up going back to my first one. And I liked it without adding water, but I just decided to add a little bit of water. And
It's cool though that you kind of did the nosing and tasting initially blind. So like you didn't have a specific style that you wanted to make at the onset. You kind of let your palate decide what that was going to be. That's cool.
Yeah. I think that's a good approach too. I do like that. So, yeah, well, I don't know what do you guys think of the contest, and is there ways we could make it better? What could we do? What was the proof of the whiskeys in the kit? I don't know if you still got that, Adam.
What do we do with the notes?
Might be written down in the secret notebook. Let me look at the secret notebook.
Okay.
I've got it, Adam. If you don't,
I'm glad somebody does.
It may have been in the description in the thing. I could look it up on that.
It was
too.
at the class. I think.
the corn bourbon was 114.1. The rye was 118.3. The malted barley was 119.9. The wheated whiskey was 123.1, and the 4 grain was 119.7.
Ooh, yeehaw.
Yeah.
That explains the water.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
No. Remember, Steve, about a year ago when we were out of Woodhat, and Gary gave us like 7 samples
Mm-hmm.
of the same distillate, which turned out to be Bloody Dapper.
Yep.
And but they were like at 6 or 7 different proof points. And everybody's consensus out of, a dozen and a half people was the 100 proof was where it was at.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep. That one, and that's what he came out with it at.
Proofing all that down was a good call.
Yeah. Yep. That was cool. That was cool. So John, we'll that prize will be going out this week, so we'll get it. I'll get it sent to you. I've got it, so it's a matter of getting it up at the post office. So
Not a single fingerprint on it. Every time Steve handled it.
I only handled it one time for one photo, and I wore gloves because I knew that if it's copper, it's going to have fingerprints that'll start. Yeah, I mean, and it's cool. You want it to have that patinaed look, but you want to have it your own, not mine. There's Akley's fingerprints on there. So yes, it will be patinaed. I'm sure it'll look cool, and but that's up to you. So to do that, not me. So
it's the Stumpy sweatshirt, right?
second place is a Stumpy sweatshirt. Yes, yes, it is.
You can probably make that happen.
That's better than the whiskey thief for Justine. Yeah, that's good. I'm at Woodhat yesterday, and I see they got a hoodie in stock, which they didn't have before. So I just take a picture of it, send it to Justine with a question mark. And I mean, it was like I hit send, and it was already come back. Yes, I want that. It was literally, I was like, whoa, lightning round. Yes, so she has that. So she's definitely into the distillery clothes. That's second place. Yeah. and for now on, for the rest of her life, she gets 1 day's head start anytime a new line is being offered. So she does like when the new products come in for sure. Any other questions about that? We still got a little bit of time left. We're good. We're good on time. Anything that you feel like we could do better with the contest?
More liquid.
More liquid would be good.
Yeah.
Would potentially drive the price up. It's a high dollar event anyway. It could go. I mean, that stuff is.
Yeah.
You're not only adding the extra cost of the extra whiskey plus shipping costs are going to go up too. So it does add expense. I'm happy to do that. It doesn't matter to me either way.
And I would think if we could do like an in-person, preferably an in-person, just blending class, either with Adam or Royce or whoever.
That's in that's in the works. We'll do. We're looking at continuing to do the educational things, and we want to do that for sure.
That would be fun.
Yeah. So we're liking what we got going on with our live educational events. So that should be in the mix. We've even talked about doing a multi month blending class with the real pros from the industry and get them all just to come in and teach one of the nights, and putting a curriculum together, work with them to develop like a notebook and things like that. So it's just a matter of time. I mean, I got the idea and know what I want to do, but finding time is it's a challenge for sure. What else? Anything else? I don't know. I think it was cool to do what we did. We had a little class to kick it off, and then this big announcement thing. I think was a fun twist.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
well, thanks to you and Adam for putting it together, and for Royce for being the pro, willing to put himself out there. That was great, and congratulations to John and the other finalists. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was very cool.
So Adam, you have to be half lit when you do your sample, apparently.
It gets to that whenever you get on sample 20 something, and you're way down there in the night for sure.
Yeah. That final debate was epic. We should have recorded that. Just shared that with you guys. We in our minds we were very sophisticated talking about it. I'm sure we were just drunken idiots. We're going through the notes.
That from Amy's perspective.
Because she was sober. She didn't drink any of that stuff, so it was just the two of us. So Adam and I that did all the drinking.
As just an observer who gets to see this part of it, my possible suggestion is if you could share like official tasting notes that you did throughout, so that you could kind of recount that out to everybody who participated, because only the blenders know what theirs actually tasted like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be cool.
See that.
Maybe for the top four. That'd be a long night though, right, Adam? I mean, through all especially if 22 people would have showed up, 22 tasting notes, and that would be a lot.
Yeah, I was ranking. I did a nose palate finish and just ranked them 1, 2, 3 all the way across the board, and it took a long time for sure. I could definitely see doing maybe like the top 4 or something like that.
Yeah, the top 4 I think is good.
Put some detailed notes down.
Yeah, I think that's good. In unrelated news, Adam Stumpf is coming out with a new blended whiskey that's 20 milliliters corn, 10 rye, 14 4 grain, and some water in there too. So it's a new product.
Hey, I've got a new bourbon label that just got approved, and it is small batch, and it's a blended bourbon whiskey. So could fall under there.
There you go. Yeah, that could happen.
Will that be in the gift shop soon, or what's the plan on that?
I have no idea, but I got the label approved.
That's the hard part.
I really don't have any plans for it. We just kind of wanted the flexibility to be able to do something and not have to wait for approvals and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
You
Yes,
know,
yes.
it'll also be really interesting. A theoretical cost for the blend created.
$1 million.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, the
Would be.
spreadsheet was very cool also,
Yeah.
Adam.
Spreadsheet was great.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Glad you
That
guys
was
were able
very
to
fun
use
to
it.
play with.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm one of those sick people who gets enjoyment making a spreadsheet like that. It's ridiculous.
Mm. I didn't see that coming. No, totally did. So yeah, but that's
Talking
great,
of
man.
having a little bit more spirits on hand, it would be very cool if there was enough left that when the winner was announced, we could get what that winner's mash bill was, and we could each then make our own and taste what
Oh.
we did.
Did you completely empty the barrels, Adam?
No, barrels are still there. Still there doing their thing. Possibilities are endless.
I'm sure.
Quote you on that.
So, what is your plan with all those? I assume these are all toys for blends you're going to be doing. You know, because you've got 100%.
Yeah, so I mean,
you got 100% rye, you got 100% corn.
Yeah, there's a period of time there where we ran a bunch of those 100% grain bills, building blocks for a blend whiskey program. So, I mean, that's why we got the label approved. I don't necessarily have any plans or dates in mind for when we're going to launch that. So all of those are just kind of sitting in the ricks doing their thing right now. But eventually they will. I mean, we've pulled some of the single grain barrels, like Dean's in Collinsville got that 100% rye. The Total Wine Fairview Heights was a 100% rye. So there's some standouts in there that we can sell as single barrels. But the rest of them are all going to go into a blended program of some sort in the probably not so distant future.
Mm-hmm. Nice. When is your single barrel program starting? You told me March one time. I've been telling everybody it started in March. We're going to be doing the tasting.
March is when we start to get into
the
volume off the column still that has got a little bit of age on it. So that would probably be the earliest.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably more towards end of next year.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah. Gotta build in some gray area, some fuzziness, you know. I need a little fudge factor, dude.
I think you'd be surprised. Adam Stumpf single barrels would become a big thing, man. You have no idea what's waiting for you out there. Yeah.
And barrel proof, which somebody said, you know, just keep waiting.
It's still waiting. I've got, so you guys sampled that wheat was fairly old, I believe. We've got a bunch of wheat laid down that's pushing the 4-year mark now. So next year we will have a bottle and bond wheat whiskey. But we've got a bunch of the stuff that we start to enter around 110 proof or so that's starting to come of age. So I like putting that out as a barrel proof as opposed to stuff that we put in earlier at 120 proof, 125 proof, that kind of stuff. So,
yeah. Yep. Cool. Well, I want to thank, like I said, everyone for being involved and participating and following the rules, getting their stuff in. We really appreciate that. It was fun for us. It was just a neat experience. So we enjoyed getting to taste these creations that people made and comparing them, and they were all good. There wasn't any. That's a tough thing, and. How tasting even goes. If we go back and we had all the exact things, it wouldn't end up exactly the same. If we taste them all right now, Adam and I, same people doing it the exact same way, it would be different winners. That's just how that stuff works. So on that day, John Kelly had the best one out there. So congratulations to him as our champion. And we'll be back doing this again next year. Of course, we do a lot of other events, but we'll be doing this one again next year. It's going to be a yearly thing. I think it's a good time of the year to do it, right around the holidays. And so it's going to kind of, I think the timing wise is good too. Do it and have about a month break in there, even though it didn't seem like people used it. I think it's good to have that much buffer. So we'll do most of those things the same way. We'll look at other options with perhaps doing some more whiskey and things like that. Because the more experimenting you can do, the better job you can do. So I think that would only enhance it. So we just got to look into that and make sure we're okay crunching the numbers. So Cool. Well, thanks a lot for joining us today, everybody. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next one.
All right.
Bye,
Thanks.
everybody.
Bye.
You guys.